What does it take to be a great sales guy? So know your product, be ready for objections, right? Tenacity, right? What else can you show the customer? Yeah, you show them the actual result of the panels for the customers, right? You demo as much as possible. Every time that he's felt there was a little bit of resistance, what did he do? Demo. What else did he do that was really good? One-liners, right? Enthusiasm. He made it what? Fun. He also used a emotional tactic of what? Help the kids out. Help the kids. It's very what? Well, not only safe for our kids, it's like you could do this to help the kids. You can use that. For every panel you get, Mr. Customer, one child in Africa eats because of you. Or one child gets electricity. You think I'm kidding? I'm dead serious. I'm not making this shit up. What else? He's animated, right? Animated. Now, you don't have to be animated, but you cannot be boring. Nobody wants to do business with boring people. Credibility, right? He looked good. He was very direct, very open. He wasn't afraid to say, I'm getting a commission. Complimenting, right? He had some humor. What do you think you need to add into your presentations or in your prospecting, right, to make it more like this? Think about that. When you're presenting to people, remember, you are in the people business, right? And a lot of times we forget that. We think we're selling solar or we're selling whatever the hell we're selling. We're not selling anything. What you're selling is a connection. And a lot of times we think that the product is the one that sells the product, like the product sells itself. In reality, the product doesn't sell itself. You sell the product. But the only way to sell the product is to build a solid relationship with people. How do you build a solid relationship with people? These are some of the things that you can do. All these things are tactics. They're really good. The one-liners are funny, enthusiasm, Jones effect, fun, animated, credibility, direct, tenacity, be ready for objections. All that is amazing. But really think about how can you make this 10 times stronger? Building a relationship. We say that out loud, but let's talk about the details. How do you build a relationship with a customer? Because a lot of you guys sometimes think that building a relationship is about talking about certain things or doing certain things, and you're doing it in a very awkward and a not genuine way. You have to do it in a way that's, number one, it's genuine. People have to feel you. The easiest way to make people feel you, yourself. Why do I talk about integrity all the time? Because I believe in it so much, because this is what integrity is. This is integrity. If you are filled with integrity, okay, and your life is strong, like for example, you guys know me, right? I mean, most of you guys know me pretty well. You know me pretty well. I'm the same person on Friday night, on Friday morning, on Tuesday night. Like, even if I'm single, talking to chicks, I don't lie to them. You realize that, right? I'm very open and transparent. Why is that? Is it for them or is it more for me? It's more for me. I'm selfish with my integrity. Because I know that the second I start lying, because at the end of the day, I don't owe these girls anything, right? As an example. I don't owe them anything. But the second I start breaking my integrity in that area, guess what happens? My integrity gets in this area. So the best way to be genuine with customers and have people feel you is just to be yourself at all given times. And when I say be you, you don't have to say, here's my social. That's not being you. That's not genuine, right? But just being 100% in tune with yourself. The hardest thing to do is when you're trying to be something for someone or be someone for someone else when you're not 100% good with yourself and confident with yourself. A lot of sales guys deal with that. How many guys can agree with that? You play that game because you think that you lie to other people. And when I say lie, you can maybe make white lies or just lie. You can be not so open and honest with certain people. You can play that bullshit game and like be all these psychological warfares, and then you're trying to be genuine with a customer. How does that work? People feel that. So being genuine with a customer, you have to learn how to be genuine in your life. Like, be you. Be real. If you're genuine in the real world, it's much easier to go into a customer's house and be genuine all the time because you don't have to think about being genuine, right? You don't walk into a customer's house and say, I care about you. Like, that you don't say that. You're automatically, when you are a caring person, people know that you care about them. People know, right? When you are genuine, when you're open, when you're honest, when you're transparent. I don't have to tell a customer, I will not fuck you. I don't have to say that because my genuine like my life is about not fucking people. Like I don't fuck people, right? I don't lie to people. I don't cheat. I don't manipulate people. I don't do things. I don't say things and do things so that people can do things for, I don't do that shit. So because I don't do that, it's so easy for me to walk into a home and just be myself. And the whole time that I can do, the whole time I'm sitting there, I can focus on one thing, which is what you just said. Listen to them. It's so easy to listen and not have to think about being transparent, think about being honest, think about being genuine, think about being all those things because I'm already doing that automatically. So I'm already automatically connecting with them on that level. Does that make sense? What is a scammer? They're lying, they're manipulating, they're always hiding, they're always doing something like this. And if you're an honest person, like, woo, that doesn't, like, something is not making sense. The frequencies are not adding up, right or wrong? right? So if you're genuine and honest and transparent with girls, with your wife, with your children, with your friends, with co-workers, it's much easier to go to the marketplace and do what? And be genuine and be honest and be transparent. I'm just using these as an example because that's what builds a relationship. When you start a relationship, right? When you start talking to a chick, talking to a guy, talking to a friend, what's the first thing that you usually talk about? External shit, right? You don't talk about like what's your deepest desires in life. You ask more of external things, right? External things are what? Things that are relevant or open to most people in the public. For example, there's 4 quadrants when it comes to a human being, right? There's things that you know and they know. So you know and they know, right? For example, I know for a fact that Oliver has a little bit of hair, maybe like an inch, 2 inch in length, and it's black. Is that accurate? Do you know that? You know that, and I know that. What's the next thing? There's things that you know, but they don't know. They don't. For example, there may be something on their back of their head, physical. Maybe you know something about them because the generator told you. Then there is what they know and you don't. And then there's the other quadrant, which is basically nobody fucking knows. I call this the magic zone, right? This is where you feel a real good, this is where like long term, the connection can kind of start getting, bigger and bigger. The reason why I'm talking about this, because when you're building a relationship, the beginning is always going to be outside bullshit, external shit, things that don't matter. But in order to build a real good relationship, you have to get into the what? The inside of them. You have to know their desires, their goals, their dreams. I'll give you guys an example. When you ask someone, what is your goals and dreams? What do they always say? It's always like house, car, vacation, travel. Do you really think that every single person you talk to about that all wake up in the morning and say, today I want a house? Matter of fact, that's all external bullshit. So you got to get good at not believing the external bullshit and getting deep inside of their head and knowing exactly what's important to them. When you build a solid relationship, your objections become what? Smaller and smaller, and you realize the real hurdles of why they don't make a decision, right? When you build a solid relationship, you don't get bullshit objections of I need to think about it, I need to talk to my husband, I don't need to talk to my wife. You don't get those a lot. You still get them, right? But that's like an external automatic objection. When you get to inside to figure out who they are and build a solid vibe with them, when they feel you, guess what happens? They're more open to discuss their fears and their worries with you a little bit. The cheaper the product, the less the relationship needs to be built. For example, when you go to Walmart and you buy toothpaste, you think anybody in Walmart build a relationship with your ass? No, it's toothpaste. But why is it when you want to go buy a Rolex, you have to have a representative with there, right? Because you have questions. Why are car dealerships still in business even though they have our cars online? Because you still need that human interaction for a $40, $50, $60, $70,000 purchase, right? That's why they have a real estate agent. Can people buy houses without a real estate agent? Yeah. But isn't it better to have someone that's going to guide you through the process? That's why the bigger the product, the bigger in terms of cash or price, the bigger the relationship. So ask questions. What else can you guys do to get better at building a relationship? Opening up about yourself. A lot of you guys are very private in your life. Do you guys feel like there's a lot of transparency in the way I live my life? Is it pretty open? Right? I don't hide what I do. There's nothing that, like I don't go on a Friday night robbing banks and then Monday I'm like, yo, what's up, baby? But the more you open up, the more someone else feels comfortable with opening up with you. So if you feel like a customer is really tight, open up a little bit. Open up. Sometimes you gotta like spice up the conversation, open up about yourself so that they can open up themselves. If you open up your insecurities and your fears and your worries and your concerns that you had in the past or you have now, they're more likely to open up, right? If you're willing to talk about your dreams and your goals and things you're excited about, they're now open as well. By the way, this building a relationship is not just for a customer, it's for meeting someone for the first time, a friend. How do you become closer to somebody? By sharing shit with them, by being vulnerable. Nobody wants to be with a stern, hard, rock solid motherfucker. I had to learn how to be a little bit more emotional with people, right? Because I'm more like what? I'm like this a lot of times. But you have to be vulnerable with customers. You have to be open a little bit, right? And open up your soul, open up your heart just a tad bit. And when you're vulnerable, they'll be vulnerable with their fears, their worries, their insecurities. What else can you do to build a good relationship? Talk about things that they're interested in, right? So a lot of people, they talk about things that are interesting to them. Biggest problem. I'm afraid when I'm building a relationship with someone that's brand new, I'm afraid of talking about things that I like. Because I don't want to talk about things that I like because that's not important to them. I want to see what's important to you. I want to know where you're at. I want to know what's the most valuable thing to you. How can I be of service to you? How can I be of value to you? You want to feel like $1 million and be happy all the time? Always be of service. How can you create value for others? If I go into a room, I'm adding value. If I'm going to someone's house, they're going to get some kind of value from me. I want their life to be 10 times better than the way I found them. That's the mindset. So if I can go out there and inspire them, help them, motivate them, give them some kind of positivity, do something for them that nobody's willing to do for them, they're going to have a better chance of what? building a better connection with me. People do not sign on the dotted lines if they don't trust you or like you. They will not sign a $100,000 loan on the spot unless they feel good about you, unless they feel excited about you, unless they feel like you are going to serve them and help them. Because people want to be secure. They want to be secure in their emotions and secure in their decisions. And you could get someone to sign up with you in an hour-and-a-half conversation. You could, as long as you demonstrate the right energy to them. As long as they know that you're a real dude and you're a real person. I'm going to add another thing to this, actually. Be 2 inches deep, but a mile wide. Know a little bit about something. For example, how many of you guys see me deal a little bit with Colombians, Peruvians, Ecuadorians? I'm like, oh, what city? I know a little bit about each little culture, every region, every culture, every language. Why? Just to build on some kind of foundation of similarity, right? Little bit about everything. I know a little bit about this, a little bit about that. Like, oh wow, okay. So then when you talk to, a Colombian, you can start out like a white guy knows about parce and all this stuff, Barranquilla, Cartagena, all these different things. Oh shit, right? Or aguardiente, the drinks that they like there, like similar things that are similar to that culture, right? With Mexicans, you know X, Y, and Z. Like you got to know a little bit about everything. Or Haitians, or whatever it may be. Just a little bit about everything. 2 inches deep and a mile wide for relatability purposes. We're going to finish this video. We appreciate you guys. If you love this video, love this kind of content, do me a solid. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next video.